Hello, my fellow viewers. This is the Positive Film Buff welcoming you to the 7th part of my look back on my dream vacation to Walt Disney World in 2017. And we've come to maybe the most emotional part of the story, because as the old saying goes, all things eventually come to an end. After 4 days being in a whole new world of magic, from fulfilling my dream in the world of tomorrow, experiencing a kingdom full of magic, embarking on a fantastic movie ride, and celebrating a duck's birthday in the wildest place on earth, the 5th and final day of my time at Walt Disney World has come on June 11th. With this last day, there was only one single thing for me to do. But before that, we did several other things. Firstly, we went back to the animal kingdom, and we actually had the full intention to fully experience one single place in that kingdom, Pandora, the world of Avatar. You might be saying, I thought you visited that world in the previous day. I thought you already visited the world that actually ruled the box office for a complete decade until an epic final battle between the Avengers and Thanos took over. Surprise, we didn't see all of Pandora. Specifically speaking, we did not go to the rides in Pandora. But on this last day, we did so. The first ride was the Avatar Flight of Passage, and as we waited for the ride, we were actually standing inside the laboratory from the movie, where we saw Jake Sully's Na'vi body lying inside a water tank. That was a beautiful and awe-inspiring sight. Let me tell you something. If you took out a phone and filmed some footage of Sully's Na'vi avatar, it would really look like an actual scene from the film, or a scene from a teaser trailer of Avatar 2. That's how awe-inspiring this sight was. Anyway, the ride we went on was a ride that I don't think often pops up in other theme parks. A 3D augmented reality simulator, where our bodies are synced with an actual Avatar Na'vi body, and that allows us to fly on a Banshee throughout the world of Pandora. Whoa. This ride was so spectacular, almost like the movie itself, and I think it fits Disney's prophecy of taking an idea and vision and fully bringing it to life in a completely mind-blowing, magical way. I make no secret of the fact that I enjoyed this ride so much, and I name it as one of the best rides of Walt Disney World. The second ride was the Na'vi River Journey, a gentle river ride through Pandora's River. As we waited for the ride, we had a very nice chat with a family behind us, talking about our lives in Australia and why we came here. We then got on the ride, both us and the family on the same boat, and we experienced such a gentle river ride, and quite possibly one of the most visually dazzling river rides I've been to. This ride managed to show us in full view the magic and beauty of Pandora, almost as if we were actually taking a journey through that colorful world ourselves. With those two magnificent rides, I now think that the world of Avatar perfectly fits into Walt Disney World, despite Avatar not being made by Disney, or at least at the time we visited. Now that Disney owns 20th Century Fox, now called 20th Century Studios, the fit is now as perfect as ever. Leaving the world of Pandora behind, it was then that we decided to do the one thing I wanted to do on this last day at Disney, and it was something that I most certainly did not want to miss out. Say goodbye. More specifically, I wanted to say goodbye to Mickey Mouse. The place Mickey was at this time around was the Adventurers Outpost, along with Minnie Mouse. For the first time, I saw Mickey and Minnie together. The previous times, they were separate. I told Mickey and Minnie about my past meetings in the last 4 days, and that today was my last day and I would miss them greatly. And I took one last photo with them, gave Mickey and Minnie one last huge hug each, And it was there that I made a big vow to Mickey, a promise. As I go back home, Disney will always be a large part of my life, and I will always be on the lookout for any new achievements Disney will create, from movies to TV shows to anything. I will watch them, and I will love them, and all those achievements would not have happened if it hadn't all started with a mouse. I'll always remember that, Mickey and Minnie. I love you both 3,000. Well, I said goodbye to Mickey and Minnie, the number one thing I wanted to do on that day. But the day was still not over, so we decided to spend our last remaining hours of Disney magic back at Hollywood Studios. As we entered for the second time, I took my last glimpses at Donald Duck, Daisy Duck, and Goofy, who were all walking around the studios. I'll tell you this, I was really tempted to say my goodbyes to them as well, as my previous meetings with them were equally magical as my meetings with the mouse. After again having a chicken nugget and fries lunch at the ABC restaurant, we went for a second ride on the Great Movie Ride, which I now think was the most perfect thing we could have done, as 2 months later, the Great Movie Ride shut its doors, to be replaced by a ride starring Mickey and Minnie. I've heard of a lot of rides either being original projects or themed to Disney movies, but I've never heard of one ride starring Mickey and Minnie before. That's very interesting. Finally, to finish everything off, we went to the attraction we haven't been yet at Hollywood Studios, the Star Wars Launch Bay. Inside, we were practically sucked into the galaxy far, far away, as the entire building was filled with everything that's Star Wars. There were props everywhere, props featured from both the Star Wars movies and even their TV shows. It was populated by talking stormtroopers and scattering Jawas, and there were 3 major characters lurking about that we got to meet and take photos with. The lovable droid BB-8, the heroic Wookiee Chewbacca, and the villainous Kylo Ren. What a way to finish my time at Disney, traveling into the world of what I think is the greatest story of all time. Walt Disney World is like no place on earth you could imagine. It's about getting the chance to meet heroes and faces you've loved as a child growing up. It's about experiencing magical stories and great movies coming alive before your eyes. It's about seeing the entire world in one single location. Whatever dream you have, it can and will be fulfilled at Walt Disney World. And I can certainly say my dream had been fulfilled. I've achieved a lot there, and I still smile at all the magical memories that we made there. My time at Disney World had come to an end, and I said my farewell to my hero and made a big promise that I was determined to keep the minute I got home. Still, this story has not reached its end, however, so stay tuned and keep watching until it does.